Okay. Hey. Okay. We have more people coming, but I wanted this to be like on recording. So I was reading about the top 21 trends and how 2020, the publishing trends for 2020 and how they're kind of like ended and they're going to go into 2021. And so one of the big things last year, of course, we all know is audiobooks and ebooks. Those became super popular. But rom-com books were very popular, but they don't kind of plan on those kind of sticking around for a long time. So another thing that was scaling upwards is cross promotion, which I know a lot of us already kind of do, but I kind of want to see how we can all strategize together. That's why I think this would be a good like group think tank kind of thing on how we can help, because James, you and Athena have a publishing company. Red, you publish books. Greg's going to start one. Fern has her publishing company. So does Julie and Texas Sisters Press. So I know we did the cross promotion emails, which was, I think, was great. And I think gave everyone good exposure. How can we do that for the publishing companies and authors? So I do it in a sense where I share your guys' stuff everywhere that I can. I share authorology stuff, promotional ideas for you guys. So how can we strategize where we all are cross promoting everybody in the group? I think it should be like a group thing.
Well, one thing that I did when the COVID started back in March of last year, I think in April, due to the fact that all the authors weren't going to any of the events, is I actually put a lot of the authors on my website saying, hey, these are great authors, go check them out. And I put a link to each one of them to their website or something like that.
Awesome. I think that
Which
would
can
be
be
good. Yeah.
which can be done with publishing companies or like, hey, these are people that I can put on the site that I trust and put a link to them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did something like that with the Christmas promotion, where
Mhm.
I put the other publishing companies and links to them on my site.
Right.
And so yeah, that's a good idea. We can you know have a section for other publishers or other authors. And
Yeah.
I guess if anybody sends you something, you can always put a section on your website for that.
Yeah. Almost like
Yeah,
a,
and
I guess
call
like
it,
a recommendation, I guess.
Yeah.
yes,
What was
like
Athena?
you can call it other recommended
Mhm.
publishers, because we don't publish everything,
Right.
so we don't publish nonfiction,
Mhm.
but somebody else does. So then the people can find their nonfiction publishers through us as well.
I don't
Yeah.
do covers. I don't do a lot of stuff, websites and proofing and editing and marketing. I send that out to other people, and it's I tell them I have sources. As long as I know somebody can do something, that's what I do. I only do a small portion. The rest of it I farm out.
Right, exactly. So I think, like kind of how you guys, I mean, you guys see it. I share a ton of stuff in the group. Like Authorology has this book, this marketing promo, which is for the whole life of the book. So that's why I shared it, because it would be good. James, you could do one about just Rock Hill Publishing, but then you can also do one about all of your authors. And it's however
Right.
that book, right? Greg, do you want to explain it? You can probably explain it a lot better than I can about it, because I'm like over here, I'm like, Greg can tell you more about it than I can.
Which part? Because I mean, like the March Madness is something completely different. We have
Yeah,
five
so this
authors.
is it's going in your guys's the short stories that you guys are publishing in February. It's you guys are running
Okay.
the half-page ads.
Joanna's the one really in charge of that, but yeah,
Okay.
she's doing like a half-page ad to promote authors, probably to make the book a little bit bigger or thicker. Because I don't know,
Yeah.
I don't know who entered, I don't know who won, I don't know anything
yeah.
about that.
So she's doing it's half a page. And so if you're a member, it's like $25, I think, if you're a member. And if you're not a member, it's $65. But it's for the whole life of the book. So as long as people keep ordering that book and it's getting printed and everything like that, your ad is going to run. So it's like a one-time fee. You send a black and white image. That's just, great cross promotion. And then like just as a whole, which is what gave me the inspiration about it. So I share things like that into the group. Virtually, I can cross promote you guys. That is my thing. Okay. I'm like the bomb at that. I'm very good at it. But I want to utilize emails and everybody else kind of sharing things into the group, sharing other authors and doing things like that. Like CJ can't be on, but she sent me how she does like she reviews books on her website, like other authors' books, and then gives recommendations and things like that. So I was thinking as a whole, because I'm thinking about creating a Through the Eyes of Authors landing page that has, you know, all of our members and your guys' photos, what all you guys do is like a one-stop destination, and then doing all of our recommendations on it. So that's kind of how I can help you guys cross promote in a sense, and then we can all kind of link it on our website, social media, whatever, kind of back to it that has all of the resources that we can all kind of think and put together. That's kind of where I'm thinking on how I can help you guys cross promote everything that you guys do.
Right. This is what I was talking about the other night, Amy, when I said that on our live, like on our Monday night live or whatever, on some of these live events, we don't have a lot of people on at that time because, you know, when I see the number of people who sign in on a live event, it's sometimes, you know, 5, 6, 10 people.
Right.
But when you go back and look at it later, because like I said, I share a lot of stuff all over the place, you see 200-300 views. So maybe if we can get like a schedule of what's coming out, so we can push that out before the live event actually start and say, you know, this is going to be a live event speaking about so-and-so, you know, and we can push that out a day or so ahead. And then on the time of the live event, when you share it, people will be looking for it and they'll join in at the event itself. Because a lot of times, you know, I know people see it because when you go back and you look at these live events, you'll see they've been viewed a couple of 100 times, but they're not being viewed while it's happening. And therefore you're losing out on, you know, really hooking people and really pulling people in.
Right. So one of the trendings on this article I was reading is how organic growth and reach for authors, and I mean, just what I do in general, right, is on a big decline, and it's now a very big pay to play market. So I feel like this cross promotion for everybody will kind of help us avoid having to do that, because ads can get expensive, and if it's going to go strictly to an ad like pay to play kind of market, then we have to come up with a whole new marketing strategy for a lot of you guys.
The other thing also is the hashtags. I mean, if we can hashtag some of the stuff that we're advertising, that hashtag goes to the share.
Right.
So when you share it, that hashtag is actually still there. And maybe like James did something for one of his books, but he didn't put his publishing company. I could actually add a hashtag for a publisher also.
Yeah. So like hashtags, the way that Greg's saying is like when we share it, it gets shared, it's creating the thread of it. So if we don't all, like if I don't capitalize Rock Hill Publishing, right, and Greg does, it's creating separate threads, and then it kind of just wonkles out. So we want to make sure that it's a consistent kind of thread. But I mean, I can send out emails of, you know, hashtags that we all should use and recommendations, and here's what we should all put, you know, together. But the whole goal of it is all of us cross promoting to help build everybody. So we have to create a strategy that'll do that. Yes.
A quick question. Does anybody hashtag their own name?
Yes, yes, yes.
I do mine primarily on LinkedIn, you know, hashtag Rebel Laughlin.
Mm-hmm.
I'm curious how many other people might be hashtagging their names.
So what does that do for you? Does it like, because I mean, I've never heard of that. I mean, I see people do it, but does it just kind of help it? Like do you do it on every post that you do, or just on like an article that you've written that
Every
is
post I put on LinkedIn has my Rebel Laughlin hashtag.
Okay, because I was wondering what all that would do. So that's probably going to bring you like big, just recognition that you posted it.
It's something somebody recommended in a webinar I was at a year or so ago. They said if you're not hashtagging your own name as part of your brand, you're just missing an opportunity. So I started doing it. So I'm just throwing it out there for those people who may not be doing it and should consider it.
Yeah.
I'm hashtagging 2 versions of my name, short name Julie Connor and full name Julie Gentiloni Connor, and also Bayou City Press and DCP. I hashtag every article, every post, those 4 things, at least, and then other things too. But I have to say, I heard the same advice that Red did. I have to say, I don't think I'm doing it as effectively as I should be, because I never look at to see if anybody is putting anything on those hashtags besides me. Maybe they're not. I mean, I'm so illiterate in social.
I think it's one of those things that just takes time over. You know, you just can't put it on 4 or 5 articles over 6 months you know, I publish every single day, so I got 380 or something like that in a row right now that I have my hashtag of my name. At some point in time, it's going to build up and actually become something.
But how do you look at if anybody else is hashtagging anything, Red? That's what I don't know how to do.
Well, I'm in the same boat you are. I'm just going on the advice that somebody gave me, saying if you're not doing it, you're missing a branding
I
opportunity.
think if you
Also, they can
if you
look
click
you
on the
up.
hashtag, it will pull up any other hashtags with that.
Yeah,
Any other articles with that hashtag?
right. So
Mhm.
if anyone else has used it, it'll pull it up. So you have to remember hashtag is just a search term, right? It's to help with your SEO. So you have to remember everything's clickable. Like if I went onto Facebook, went in the search browser and typed in Red O'Loughlin, like hashtag Red O'Loughlin, it's gonna pull up everything that's ever had that hashtag and the
Okay.
person that's used it.
I'm pretty sure it was Judith Briles that told us that we should be.
Yeah, I think you're probably right.
It was at the, when Sandy brought her down for that special workshop. That was one of the recommendations she gave us.
I think you're right.
Yeah. I think the incentive behind that is like Red. So if you're publishing an article a day, like you've been blogging, I think you said since 2014, you've been blogging every day since then, and you've been using your name as a hashtag. If I go and share it, those hashtags are going to go and it's going to show that I shared this and it has your hashtag, your name in it. So it's kind of helping give credibility to who wrote it and things like that kind of along the way. That's the purpose of it. It gets your name more exposure to my audience and stuff. That's kind of the purpose of it. But I mean, I think the social media aspect and stuff, I mean, I can help you guys do that. That's what I do by sharing and doing stuff like that. I think we need to look more as like the cross promotion in terms of like websites and the email marketing, like newsletters and things like that. So how we can kind of collaborate on a way of doing that as a group to get exposure for everybody.
Could I just say that I think everybody who has a publishing company should put out what your goal is. Share it with us so that, because like Julie, I know she does travel, but she's also getting Twisted Sister. They do several things. They do children, they do young adults, I guess. But if we had like a purpose or a byline, what is your purpose? Like for me, I do new authors in the 4 different categories, but primarily new authors,
Right.
And if I think if people will put that statement out, it makes it easier for us to share it with other people, because then we know what you're looking for and what you actually do.
Yeah, I like that, because then it can be like, I mean, I can create, like I mentioned, you're the one that gave me the idea to do the landing page for Through the Eyes of Authors that has, all the members and then the recommendations and everybody of kind of who we recommend. So I think if we all kind of did something like that, even if it was just, your recommendation and it links to the Through the Eyes of Authors page on your website or whatever, that's helping promote everybody in the group, right? Which is kind of the whole goal of it. We all learn from each other and we're all helping, authors support authors is kind of my motto moving forward, which I know it has been Sandy's motto also. So that's kind of the purpose of today, is how can we all kind of collaborate, strategize on how we can do this effectively where it benefits everybody. So everyone gets exposure into whatever they're wanting exposure into.
Can I just say in response to James that I have a vision statement on my website, and it's just one sentence. It says, Bayou City Press publishes fiction and nonfiction books that celebrate settings and themes from around the world, including books on history and international affairs. That's it, just one sentence, but.
Right, that's exactly what I'm talking about. Like I have a mission statement, the same thing. And like the last statement or so actually says what we do, and yeah, that's something that we should share with each other. So I can put that on my website, related, whatever.
Or Amy's landing page could have a 1-sentence description for each of the publishers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that would be, that would be helpful, because then I don't want to have to go searching your website to find what you do, searching Twisted Sister to go find out what she does. You don't want to have to search, 4 or 5 different websites to pull this information out. If we had it concise and in one spot, then you can easily just grab it, drop it on your website, and then you say, these are related publishers or publishers of, and then you can just have, your name, your information, a link to your website, you know?
Yeah, because then we could do that. We can have like recommended publishers and have it linked, to Rock Hill Publishing or Bayou City Press. And then we can have a tab underneath it or whatever that says authors and or published authors. And then all of your guys' authors work of everyone you've published your own books, everything kind of like that. The point, I guess, in a long way, a short way of saying it is, if I create this landing page for everyone to give visibility to the group, but to everybody, we need to come up with a way where we're all going to promote it. So that's promoting everybody. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm saying like the email marketing and then doing the social media and the hashtags and stuff like that. We need to kind of come up in a sense on how we can, like, even if it's putting it in your newsletter once a quarter, right? And just mentioning it and kind of getting exposure that way. That's going to help everybody in the group. That's going to support everybody. So that's the focus for today. Like Brian, right? Brian, ready to join us. But so like he uses his book as his business card to help him promote his business, which is website design, right? So we can always, I can put on that page if you're looking for website design or just feedback on your website or whatever, here's who I would recommend and here's their book, 52 tips, right? And here's their book, which helps give credibility. So it's like, how can we make sure that everyone's going to utilize this page? Because it's going to take a lot of time for me to create it, right? So I want to make sure that we're all going to use it before I just kind of jump in and do it. Brian, go.
I think it'd be great because every now and then on Facebook, you'll hear people say, hey, I just finished a great book and I'm thinking about a second one. And they'll say something about any nonfiction or fiction recommendations. It'd be great to have a page, on the someplace, that talked about all the people that were part of the group, that I could just say, hey, here's a list of the people that I kind of hang out with that are authors. You might find something interesting on this page. And then, everybody who, if you just had a new release, Amy could update the page on the, and I don't know if it's Perceptive PR or if it's one of the other sites we're going to be doing. But I mean, basically, you could have at least a resource where we could go and look at what the latest books are and then help promote each other.
Yeah. So that's kind of my goal. And if I can figure out a way to make it where when we do these lives, which we have a live coming up on the 23rd for a children's book, but if anybody wants to be on there, it's at 11 a.m. I'll give you more information about it so you guys can be on to promote your book, but to support, authors. If I can host the live on this page and you just have to share this link out, I think that might be easier for us to kind of promote ahead of time instead of redirecting them to a Facebook page and things like that. So that's kind of how I see cross promotion moving forward for the group and for each one of you guys individually as authors and as owners of publishing and helping authors. So I just want to kind of see where you feel that you could like help the cross promotion and everything with it, I guess, in a sense. So does that sound good though? If we like move forward doing that?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, I can make it where it links to everybody and gives everyone exposure. We can kind of roll out doing things like that. I also kind of want to start doing, I want to highlight a publishing company a quarter in the group. And then I want to highlight a member author in the group kind of each month. So I think if we can kind of gear our cross promotion around that, it might make it more easier than just being like, hey, check out all these people's book. That could be overwhelming. So what do you guys think about doing something like that and kind of making it easier for us all to kind of promote it in that sense?
Definitely.
Makes a lot of sense, really does.
Yeah, does that sound good? Okay.
I think it would also open exposure to, if we're helping self-promote ourselves, each other, it might also grow the group.
Yeah.
It might be somebody, like a self-published author who has a trunk load of books that are like, hey, I should get involved with this group because they could kind of help me cross-promote my book,
Yeah.
Or you have other publishers that have stuff out there. Like Red's got a lot of different clients. I don't know a lot of his clients. I know Hyatt and a couple others, but I mean, it's like, and then with James and other people, there's lots of books out there that I don't even know anything about.
Right.
And I think having something like that would be great, or at least a resource where, hey, this is James's website. This is how to contact, if we had a members kind of like roster, where we could at least, connect with each other and, hey, I've got because I do a lot by email as well. So a client will say something and I'm gonna go, hey, have you thought about, if you got some time, here's a great article, here's a great book, here's, I'd be glad to make recommendations. I don't know how many people are putting a mask on and going to Spain right now, Julie, but hey, if they're ready to do some hiking, we could say, hey, read this book and then think about maybe doing Big Bend and getting prepared to do the Spain trip.
They
So
need
we
to
could
read
definitely
the
have some
book
fun with it.
before. This is the perfect time to read, planning to go late
Yeah.
to 2021 or 2022. Got to read ahead.
Yeah, because with COVID, all these people are trying to get rid of their COVID pounds. What a great goal. I'm going to get rid of the pounds so I can hike Spain.
Yeah, I'm getting a lot of submission requests, and I got one just the other day, yesterday or so, and the guy already has his books out on Amazon. So I sent him an email back like, okay, so what are you looking for? And are you looking to republish your 2 books, or are you looking, or do you have a 3rd book that you now want to publish? So when I get people who want to publish that's not in my genre, it would be nice to be able to say, okay, well, I'm not doing this, but hey, here goes somebody I would recommend, and be able to recommend you guys, because, I get people who want to do religious, or who want to do, biographical children stuff. And hey, do you do children? And even though on my website it doesn't say anything about doing children, I'll still get people who want to do children. So it's like, I really will and do want to be able to, send them to the right place. I just don't want to send you somebody, Julie, who you're not going to have anything to do with because it's not in your wheelhouse. So, as far as that goes, it's always good to be able to, like you say, cross promote or refer somebody to somebody else, down the road to another person, because it's like, I'm not going to do it. It's not in my wheelhouse. But if you're in that particular niche, then yeah, fine. I'll send them your way. And of course, you make of it what you will. I'm not going to read it and go over it and all that kind of stuff. I'm just going to send them your way. And then
Right.
then it's on to you to decide whether or not you want to read it, go over it, and all that kind of, and do that kind of stuff.
I had a guy last week I talked with, he self-published a book about 6-7 years ago. He didn't really know what he was doing. He says he really wants to have somebody kind of clean it up and make it look more standardized and whatever. And so I don't know if that's going to evolve into anything. I've done 2 books where they weren't happy with their publisher and they just said, hey, give me everything back. I took it and republished it for them. So there are some cases where the book is already out there that people are just not quite happy for a number of reasons. And I think it's possible you could get some business out of that.
Yeah, that's how I got Myron, because, well, his publisher went belly up in Cyprus. And so that's how he found me, because he had a publisher. He put out a couple of thousand books, 1,000 or so books. And then the publisher went, sideways, and he wound up finding me on LinkedIn, and then we had to clean up his book and republish it. And so, yeah, when people come to you, you don't always know if it's going to be a good fit for you. And if it's not a good fit for you, it's always nice to be able to recommend them to somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
Amy, your conversation brings up, reminds me of a conversation I had with a person who is not a member of this group, but I think I mentioned it before. He was thinking about doing some kind of book fair, and he's put on one of these great big Comic-Con kind of things here in Houston. And he was then later on, he talked about having some kind of consortium of publishers. And I said, well, we've sort of got a mini one of those going in this group. But it occurs to me that maybe we do want to have a consortium of publishers, in which case we would actively look for other publishers in certain genres that none of us do, like poetry. Mm-hmm. The very first person who approached me about publishing was a friend here in Houston who's a poet, but I told him I just don't feel comfortable trying to do poetry. But there are a lot of publishers who do poetry. So if we could have one of them join our group, then as James was saying, when someone comes to you and it's not in your area, but you can say, look, we have a member, I have someone I can recommend to you. Or, you know, there's a lot of other areas that our group doesn't cover.
Yeah, I think that would be, yeah, I like that because I think it would kind of make it where we could be a big resource community for people looking to publish, and it's not like we're only going to do nonfiction or, you know, fiction. We'll go in and do poetry and stuff like that. So I like that, Julie. I think that's good. We can always have like a section on there, you know, if you're a publisher looking, you know, for publisher friends. I don't really know how to word it. That's just what I would say at the moment. You know, like if you're looking for new publisher friends and build connections, you know, fill this form out. We'd love to talk to you and be your friend. You know, I don't know. I won't word it that way. But.
Join
Yeah,
our
'cause
group.
it'd be more like a member's resource directory.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, you know, here's your publishers, you know, here's somebody who can help you with your website, here's somebody who can help you with social media, here's somebody who can help you, you know, all along the way. I mean, and I think that's valuable to people. I mean, that's where some people join associations and groups so they can either get the member directory or be in the member directory.
Yeah.
And I think calling it a member resource directory, if somebody, you know, if somebody wanted to join the group, you know, they could find a publisher, they could find a publicist, they could find a social media person, they could find somebody who does website design, they could find somebody who, and then they could also find books that people have done that they might want to read or take a look at. I think it'd be great to have something like that.
Awesome. All right. This has gone a lot better than I thought. I was totally afraid to bring this up because I didn't know how this was going to go. So I was like, all right, let's just see how, you know, receptive you guys are to this. So, because I had thought about creating it and I had done it on and off and I was like, well, no. So if I'm going to move forward, kind of creating it and getting it out there, and I don't know how long it's going to take me. Brian, I'm going to have to talk to you because I'm going to need help with it. But if we can get that up and going, then if we can kind of dedicate, you know, maybe mentioning it in each one of your guys' newsletters, I don't know, once a quarter or something like that. And on social media, I think that would kind of help build it, grow the group, which is going to help me kind of find new speakers and stuff like that and kind of bring it up where it's, you know, all kinds of experienced writers, non-experienced writers, people that are just in creative writing and they don't know that maybe they should turn it into a book. So kind of bring inspiration in that way and cross promote everybody at the same time. So that's my ultimate goal with it.
Now, I was also thinking that we could put up a form on our websites for people who want to join the group with our affiliate number.
Yes.
So
we can do
they
that.
can fill that out, send it in. It will go to you, of course, and it will have our affiliate number. So if they then decide to join the group, we will get that going with the affiliate program. Because I really don't know how to market the affiliate program itself, other than, you know, if somebody asks me something about publishing or promoting, then I would say, hey, check this group out. You know, I'm a member of this group. And then I'll have to, but when you contact them, give them my number. You know, I don't want to do that. I want to just put up there, you know, an ID number or something. Then you know, okay, so this came from me. And if they join, then fine.
Yeah. So you guys remember how to access your affiliate numbers, right? I don't have access to those, but I'll do a short video of like me accessing mine and record it. So you guys have that as a resource and I'll put it on the YouTube channel for everybody. But I think that's a great idea. You can even put that though, James, on social media, like in some of the groups that you're a part of that I'm not in, and you see someone that's like, oh, I'm looking for this cover designer. I'm looking for, you know, this kind of editor. And you can be like, oh, well, you can find all those resources, you know, in this group, you know, once I get the page up and going, we can always do something kind of similar in that sense. But
yeah,
I think that works. I'm trying to make it easier on you guys to self-promote everybody. I don't want it to be super difficult where we're all just like sharing individual posts and it gets overwhelming. And it's like, oh, well, you posted that on Instagram. I thought it was on Facebook. How do I share it over there? Right? It can get super confusing. So let's just send everybody to the same spot. So that is my goal. My children are waking up. If you can't tell, I have one that's played with my camera. Now she's bored. And so she started to scream and my other one didn't sleep more than 10 minutes, so it's gonna be noisy. I'm sorry. I apologize for it. But check out the authorology half page. I think that would be great for the publishing companies and just you as an author. That would be a fantastic resource. And they are doing write-ins Fridays and Sundays. They're doing write-ins if you want to be a part of those. I shared it in the group. I'll share it again in case you want to join or pop in or kind of whatever you want to do with that. I think that's it for like information that I have kind of moving forward. Audiobooks are still super popular. So if you haven't started those and you're looking at, you know, something new to do this year, audiobooks are on a huge trend incline. So they're definitely going to be around. So
I see that Lydia didn't make her Kickstarter goal. So
She didn't?
that's unfortunate. So hopefully she's going to redo it again.
yeah, I hope so. I know that they're I know Lydia had to call CJ in, you know, as backup for her mom. So I figure that might
Yeah.
play a role in it. So we'll see if she, maybe I'll reach out to her and I'll just start it for her and we can all just kind of share it and see if we can get it funded for her so she can do that. Cause I think her books would be great as an audiobook. So
Yeah. I gave her book to either my grandson, well, one of my grandsons wound up with the Nightmare King. So
Nice.
I bought books from Lydia, CJ, and a couple other people, and gave them out for Christmas presents.
Oh, I love it. I love it. See, this is so great because it's just going to be, this is going to be, I'm excited about doing this page. It's going to be good.
My Kickstarter started yesterday.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
And Greg will be on Author Talk Monday to talk about it.
Yeah.
Yay!
Greg,
What are
is
we
your
kickstarting for?
To put Alonica on audiobook. It's a 13-hour book, so you're talking about $2,600.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Let's get it funded, Greg. Let's do this. I'll be sharing it. We'll get it funded. We got Rox and Charles is funded for their screenplay, so let's get yours funded. Let's do it.
I'm up to $52 or $51 on day one.
Hey, that's great.
Out of
That's so
3,000. But
$51.
if y'all seen the leather armor that I'm wearing or at the shows that I do, that's actually part of the prizes and tiers is some of that leather armor.
Oh,
Oh, nice.
gonna go check that out. That's
Yeah.
exciting. I love stuff like that.
Is it in your name or is it in the book's name? The Kickstarter program.
It's under Alonica. I would have to share it. It's on Authorology. It's on my page.
All right, we'll go to
putting it
Authorology. We'll
everywhere.
find it.
Hey,
We'll
Greg,
find it.
I have a question for you. I went to Authorology like yesterday or the day before because I was trying to get an overview of all the events that you know that are coming up. I saw that you announced one in Conroe.
Their
And
first ever.
right, so, but I couldn't find date. I couldn't find the things. I couldn't find the dates. I guess it's kind of a suggestion that maybe you have a rolling list somewhere on Authorology of upcoming events.
I don't know if they took it off the announcements or not, but I used to have one on the announcements of all the places and usually around the dates.
Because I'd like to get some of those on my calendar or pick out or get, you know, I saw someone said they've already, I think, submitted a.
Yeah, Fern
request.
and I both have for the Conroe one. Now they have not gotten back with me, but it's not till July and it's her first ever. I know they have one voiceover actress. I think they're actually getting, I saw a sign saying Kevin Sorbo was actually going to be there too. So I don't know how they're doing things right now. I know it's going to be at the Lone Star Convention Center, which is a very nice place.
But
And
so if I go to the Authorology site, where can I find a list of upcoming events?
try under the
Besides just
announcements.
going through all the, you know, I don't want to have to read through things going back 4 months. I just
check under the announcements. It should, like there's one, the very top post is your announcement post. and I think there's a number 3 next to it. Click on that, and it should give a list of a lot of places that will accept authors. And if they remove that, I'll put another one up with dates, and I'll probably put a link to the websites also.
Okay. Is the first one you're aware of as far as the one here in Houston?
Comic Palooza is the first one. The CypherCon has closed down this year, so they won't be doing anything until October in Lake Charles.
Okay.
But yeah, it will be Eastern Rim. I know I can't tell the exact date because I would promise not to, but they will be in fall. NerdCon is usually the first weekend in December. Now I've actually done the Texas Renaissance Festival, which that's fun. I know Kroger accepts authors. Barnes and Noble, I'm still talking to them. They're still a little bit leery with the COVID stuff going on, bringing authors in. Conroe is July. Comic Palooza is May. And the bookstore in spring, they haven't sent anything new yet, but they're usually like a week or 2 before Comic Palooza, but they might be moving back to fall. And I know there's a lot more, but I can't go through them all. We would be here for an hour or 2. But those are all the top ones that I know of in the Houston area.
Okay, I'll go to Authorology and try to find the dates and everything there.
Like I said, go to the announcement, which is the first post that you'll usually see as announcements. And it will say, see more announcements, and just click on that. And if it's not there, then I'll put a new one up today sometime.
Nice. Yeah, Greg, I always look to you for like all the cons and stuff. I'm like, Greg's gonna know. I'm gonna go to his page and share it. So I'll be doing that and make it as simple as I can, because I love those. I had so much fun at NerdFest. It's so great. So much.
Beaumont changed theirs from November to October, and they're already accepting applications too.
Oh, nice. Okay, because I know it's Comic Palooza, right? That's still happening. Because I know Fern was saying she's waiting to get a table or something like that.
Yeah, they're supposed to be putting out their info in a week or 2
Nice.
to purchase the tables. At least that's what they said last month.
Yeah. Well, okay, we'll just keep pushing it back. But as soon as I find out, I will be sharing it for you guys. I'm sorry. I will be sharing it for you guys. But as far as, the cross promotion and stuff, I think this is going to be really great for everyone if I can get this up and going, and we can all kind of promote it while promoting each other. So that was kind of the whole group think about today on cross promotion. So does anybody have anything else they want to talk about, bring awareness to, or just,
The
anything?
baby is getting really big. She's growing.
She'll be 5 months on Monday. She'll be 5 months. So
Yeah, she looks like she's getting very big. That's nice. That's
she's
good.
tall. She's tall for her age. My other one is tall for her age, and here I'm like 5 foot 5'1", and Josh is 6 foot, and I'm like, no, someone has to be short with me. I can't be the only short one in the household. But yeah, she is.
Yeah, they're all going to be taller than you very quickly.
No, that's okay. Whatever. It works out. It'll be good. But well, okay. If no one has anything, thank you guys for coming. And I hope you guys all have a great weekend. I'll see you Monday morning for Author Talk, which Greg will be on talking about his audiobook and Authorology. And Monday night, we have Corinne. I think that's her name, right, James?
Yeah, Corinne, yeah.
I want to call her Karina, but it's Corinne talking about her podcast and everything and how she can help bring exposure to you guys. James has been on her podcast, so that's going to be Monday night. And we have Kathy Lockman's going to close out the year on the 25th talking... she's not doing I think she's doing her nonprofit talk this month about how you can use nonprofits to get exposure for your book while giving them money and putting money in your pocket. So that's going to close out January, but I'll be sending emails and everything like I usually do. But I hope everybody has a fantastic weekend. You guys go enjoy it. It should be pretty. Go and enjoy it. So I'll see all of you guys on Monday. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.